Welcome back, everybody. This is Brian Kirk with Eat to My Own Beat, taking the road less traveled. Another cost of living video. Today we are focusing on the country of the Bahamas. First in the B's, and we're going to go to the capital, Nassau. Not to be confused with Nassau, but Nassau. Okay, so summary of cost of living in the Nassau, the Bahamas. A single family of four estimated costs are $8,302.90 without rent. A single person monthly costs are $2,316.70 without rent. And we're gonna go, of course, the currency we are following in the Bahamas is US dollars, and we are in the metric system, using the metric system. All right, so let's start. We'll start with restaurants, and a meal in an inexpensive restaurant will set you back $35, which is pretty expensive, I guess. It's one of the highest I think we've had so far, and it is definitely not very cost effective for a meal. But you're traveling to a place that is more expensive, and the costs are just a little bit higher because it's a tourist destination rather than a place that's generally suitable for someone to be living in. Nassau is it's the capital, but also a popular destination for traveling. A meal for two people in a mid-range restaurant, three-course meal, is going to set you back $200. That is the most expensive by far for a meal in a mid-range restaurant. $200 for two people, so it's $100 each. It's going to be pretty expensive. A meal at McDonald's or equivalent meal, $9.50. There are McDonald's in the Bahamas, in Nassau in particular, at least 3 or 4. So there are locations in the Bahamas. A domestic beer, 0.5 liter draft, is going to cost you $5. And the beer of choice is Calic beer. A golden lager is the national beer of the Bahamas, controlling over 50% of the beer market in the country. Winner of 3 consecutive gold medals from Monde Selection, it is also stronger than the most Caribbean lagers at a 7% ABV. That's Calic beer. Imported beer is going to cost you $7.50. Cappuccino regular, $5.47. Coke or Pepsi in a 0.33 liter bottle, $2.18. Water, 0.33 liter bottle, $1.75. Milk, 1 liter, $5.12. That's the most expensive so far. Loaf of fresh white bread, 500 grams, $5.51. Very expensive. Rice white, 1 kilogram, $6.07. Eggs, regular a dozen, $6.63. Local cheese, $8.07. That's for a kilogram. Chicken fillets, 1 kilogram, $10.97. Beef round, 1 kilogram or equivalent back leg red meat, $19.33. That's the most expensive. This is also because most of the items that come from this go to the Bahamas have to be imported due to it being an island and not having many places to grow the items, such as rice or apples, bananas, so forth. Apples, 1 kilogram, $4.66. Bananas, $2.90 for a kilogram. Oranges, 1 kilogram, $4.65. Tomato, $5.30 for a kilogram. Wow, that's very expensive. Potato, 1 kilogram, $4.71. Onion, 1 kilogram, $3.28. Lettuce, 1 head, $2.83. Water, 1.5 liter bottle, $3.04. Bottle of wine, mid-range, $20. Domestic beer, 0.5 liter bottle, That'd be the Calic, once again, $3.83. Imported beer, 0.33 liter bottle, $4.87. And a 20-pack of Marlboros are going to set you back $11. So as we've noticed, as we've gone through the country so far, cigarettes prices are in they go to the very low in a place like Afghanistan or Angola or Algeria, to the very high, which is like $27, $28 in Sydney, Canberra, Australia, and varies on the taxes that are in the city or state of the country for selling cigarettes. Obviously, they're not good for you, so they charge more in the taxes for healthcare and whatnot, and to punish the cigarette selling business so that less people will smoke them. And that's actually worked so far in Australia, whereas there's less smokers now than there ever have been. And I'm pretty sure Australia has been talking about banning smoking for anyone going forward. So if anyone born before a certain date would not be able to smoke anymore. Correct me if I'm wrong. Put that in the comments if you're wrong. I remember hearing something about that. I'm not 100% sure. So if you know, put it in the comments, and we will go visit that again. I'll do a special video about that. Then we're going to go back into transportation. One-way ticket to the local transport is going to cost $1.25. Monthly pass, regular price is $45. Taxi start normal tariff, $6. Taxi 1 kilometer normal tariff, for every kilometer is $3.11. And an hour of waiting time normal tariff is going to cost $100. Gasoline is $1.52 a liter, which isn't too bad. Volkswagen Golf 1.490 kilowatt trendline or equivalent new car, $37,500. Toyota Corolla sedan 1.6 liter 97 kilowatt comfort or equivalent new car, $42,875. Utilities. Basic electricity, heating, cooling, water, and garbage for 85 meter square apartment, $302.28. Basic or mobile phone monthly plan with calls and 10 gigabyte plus data, $71.49. By far one of the most expensive we've run into so far. Internet 60 megabytes per second or more, unlimited data, cable or cable/ADSL, $104.29. Also one of the most expensive we've run into so far. And then we're going to go to sports and leisure in 1 second. Internet, mobile phone. Obviously, it's the same thing as a lot of things. It varies from country to country. Some countries are subsidizing it or have many providers, and there's a price war going on for these different costs to be lower. And then sometimes there's very few providers, so the price is higher. Go to a place like Canada, where we pay some of the highest prices in the world for our internet and mobile phone plans, and which is strange for being such a Western country where there's a free market, and yet there is still not enough providers to lower the cost. Okay, so a sports and leisure, a fitness club, monthly fee for one adult, $118.71, which is probably the highest we've run into so far. And a tennis court rental for 1 hour on the weekend, it's going to cost $60, which I know that is the most expensive we've run into so far. Cinema international release, 1 seat, $18. So you're paying a pretty penny to see a movie of an international release in the Bahamas. Childcare, preschool or kindergarten, full day, private monthly for one child, $633.33. International primary school yearly for one child, $13,785.71. Clothing and shoes. One pair of jeans, Levi's 501 or similar, $67.50. One summer dress in a chain store, Zara, H&M, which there is no H&M in the Bahamas. It's going to set you back $76.67. A pair of Nike running shoes, mid-range, $117 even. A pair of men's leather business shoes, $120. Now we get into the more expensive cost of living if you are living in the Bahamas. Rent per month. Apartment, one bedroom in the city center, $1,200. One apartment, one bedroom outside of the city center, $1,312.50. Apartment, 3 bedrooms in the city center, $3,000. Apartment, 3 bedrooms outside the city center, $3,925. So it is pretty costly to live in the Bahamas. And when I do my recap at the end, we'll talk about how much money we have for income, and then we have how much we have left over after renting an apartment. Buy an apartment, price per square meter to buy an apartment in the city center, $3,000. And price per square meter to buy an apartment outside the city center, $1,348.55. The average monthly salary after tax is $1,900. So you figure you're spending $1,200 on an apartment, you have $700 left after renting, after your salary. That's just for one bedroom in the city center. So even if there's 2 salaries and you have a 3-bedroom, that's $3,800. So you have $800 left over for a 3-bedroom, which you assume would be a family of 3 or 4 in that case. So not very good, and especially with the costs when you're spending $5.51 on a loaf of fresh white bread or $5.12 on a liter of milk. Your costs are going to be a little out there. And a mortgage interest rate in percentages yearly for 20 years fixed rate, 7.05%. The city has had 103 entries in the past 12 months by 19 different contributors. The last update was in July 2024. All right, so to buy an apartment based on the distribution expenses using the statistical model that we've went over, to buy it's 0.16%. Transportation, 7.5%. Clothing and shoes, 1.6%. Sports and leisure, 6.7%. Markets, 25.4%. Utilities, 8.3%. Rent, 28.1%. And restaurants, 20.9%. It doesn't have anything facts about how expensive it was based on the rest of the world. So it's definitely there's places that are higher costs than the Bahamas, but these are pretty high costs that we've seen so far in the 12 or so countries we've visited so far. And let's go back to the statistics. I've been forgetting the last little while. Bahamas is the 12th country we've done. It's got a population of 412,623 square meters of kilometers, 10,000 and 10, and it's got 41 persons per square kilometers. So just keep that in mind. It's not a very big country for population-wise. It's not a very big country in total size, and yeah, so very costly to live there. That's why people go there for vacation. But if you're living there, that's why there's lots of underprivileged people that live there as well. Tomorrow we're going to go with Bahrain for the 13th country in the world we have done. And we will continue on the rest of the week with Bangladesh, Barbados, Belarus, Belgium, Belize, Benin, and the Bhutan. So until next time, thank you again for watching this video. And if you find it useful and if you like it, please comment, like, and subscribe. Please subscribe. If we get to 1,100, we will do a giveaway of an Eat to My Own Beat item. Until next time, keep eating to your own beat. Take the road less traveled, and have a great day.